Hi guys, hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. Hi everyone, hello guys, welcome to my channel. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome to Talk on Soon. So for this video I will be sharing with you one of the men I would call mental bullies that immigrants face here in Britain where I live, or UK where I live. And I mean, it's very subtle, but many of immigrants, and mostly, if not particularly, African immigrants or black immigrants. Now, me doing this took me time because I did not actually understand what I was experiencing until I heard the term that was used to describe it. Okay, so this particular mental abuse takes place mostly, I find, in workplace, or if you do find people that are racist. And when you experience this form of bullying or mental abuse, you will be left in state of confusion because you are trying to understand what happened to you, and also you will be left questioning your own self on whether what you experienced is actually true or not. Now, I've done some notes to help guide my thoughts on this issue, so I will begin the video very soon. But if you're new to my channel, do consider subscribing. My channel is very much based on different topics, and their categories are based on religious, social issues mostly, and religious life in general. If you're into these things, I definitely will advise you subscribe. I do most other random stuff, food, cooking, just anything I can think of. Now that has kind of affected the growth of my channel, I would not lie, or the view counts that I get, but I'm doing YouTube videos just to share my opinions mostly, and hopefully give someone a sense of understanding of what is happening to them and advice. So if I was to do it just purely based on growth, I would not be able to share some of the things I've shared on this channel. Or if I do my videos based on likability, I would not be able to share some of the things that I share on my channel. Now, there's none of them that is really controversial, but I kind of base off my thing on what I feel will benefit someone out there. So let us begin. So mental abuse is something that everyone experiences at work, okay? Regardless of your skin color, regardless of your race, is something that every single human being experiences in the place of work. And the government has done a lot of things to try and make sure that staff in workplaces are happy, and employers want their staff to be happy, so they put policies and other things in place to ensure that staff are treated well or fairly, and that staff are happy. However, there are so much they can control and there are so much they can't control, and some of the things that they can't control is other colleagues of yours. Some of the things that the government cannot control is your neighbors, the people on the street, what comes out of people's mouth. No one can really control that much. You can put all the policies in place. If it's not spoken, it's shown. And this is one of the things that this form of abuse or bullying that I'm about to talk about comes under. It is very manipulative in its nature, and can really leave the victim feeling mentally damaged. So let me start by saying I understand that reporting issues at workplace or even at home where you live at can be very hard and difficult and scary as well, because you are also thinking about the consequences. If you are being bullied or abused for being an immigrant in the country, immigrant, or alternatively can you say expat, as that's what Western words like to use to describe their immigration statutes. So if you are being bullied because of your race, it makes it even twice as difficult for you to stand up and challenge the issue, especially if you are a minority in your workplace or you do not have people that actually can support you. So it is important though to speak out, because by reporting mental abuse and bullying at workplace, it just ensures that the environment that you work in is harmonious and you feel happy coming into that workplace. Okay, research have shown that by the University of Warwick found that happier employees are 12% more productive, whilst unhappy employees are 10% less productive. They found that human happiness has a huge positive effect on their productivity. Employees' happiness is crucial ingredient for an organization's success. So the same thing applies if you are an immigrant to Britain, because the government wants people who are happy in the country. Okay, they want people who can be productive, and you can't really be productive if you are being mentally bullied. Rather, you will find yourself in a state of depression, anxiety, and then you isolate yourself and become less productive than you are. So both employers and the government of UK or Britain, well, there's different governments in Britain, but the government of UK, let's say, because this is where I live at, all of them want people to be happy so that it can produce a better economy and people can go out to work. And this is why they put so many laws and other things in place to make sure that we experience that and we are treated fairly. So your happiness matters to your employer. So that's why it's important to report mental abuse when you do experience it, whether you are sure or not sure. It just makes it known that there is something that could be going on, and makes it easy for it to be spotted when it starts happening properly to you, or when it becomes quite obvious. So mental abuse, as I mentioned, is one of the number one things that takes place in the life of immigrants, especially racial mental abuse. Coming from a black or Nigerian, as a Nigerian, I don't know if I'll call myself immigrant, but let's just say it's immigrant. There is something that most immigrants experience. I've heard this from stories, even when I first came, from you hearing people like maybe your mom's friends, other people complain about this sort of issues at workplace. You never really know it until you start working in a very until you start working in a workplace where you find yourself to be either the one token immigrant or the minority in the group, or you find yourself working with people who have racist mentality to them, or people who are generally just bullies. Okay, so this type of mental abuse then is I'm trying to speak about is called gaslighting. So I have experienced this at my workplace, and I've shared some of these issues in one of my videos called Playing Strong, Struggle of Black Women, a Black woman at workplace. Now you can experience this even with your own particular race. You can experience it with white, Asian, black. It doesn't really matter. If you're an immigrant, you're more or less likely to experience this regardless of where you migrate to. So some of the worst advice that people give about this particular form of abuse is to take heart. Another one is to be strong. Another one is that some people, even the immigrants, start blaming the person that is complaining or feeling this way. Okay, you may even find yourself fighting with your own thoughts, thinking that you are overthinking things, but in reality you are being mentally bullied in a very subtle way. So some immigrants as well, because they try to be pleasing to a particular race, can even start kind of bashing you and cuss you out, or even mistreat you if you report this, because they are trying to protect themselves or their job. Others may even think of you as being weak. Okay, I know I'm taking time before I even define what gaslighting is or go into the topic fully, but I just want you guys to kind of get this part very well, that this is some of the worst advice that you can receive if you're the one experiencing this form of mental abuse. Okay, so what is gaslighting? Let me define gaslighting. You can find this on Google. I think this definition I took from Wikipedia. So gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person seeks to sow seeds of doubt in a targeted manner and to a target individual or members of a target group. Okay, making them question their own memory, perception, and sanity. These people have some form of narcissistic, I never really know how to pronounce that word, behavior as well. So I have made a story at my work about some of the workplace bullying that I experienced, and you can watch that. I'll put the link of that video below. That is Playing Strong, a struggle of a Black woman at workplace. Okay, I've experienced different types. Okay, and one of the things in that video that I mentioned was my experience when I was working as a cleaner, where the manager was the bully. And the funny thing about that conversation, which I didn't include in my previous video, was that when I actually started challenging her, she diverted the conversation to me, to her saying that, oh, I found that you live close to me, and so and so. This is her trying to escape from the issue that I'm trying to address with her, which is the fact that she was being a bully. Okay, for an immigrant, if this occurs, the experience of it is even more impactful. It has a lot of impact on you, because you're not only battling with the first of all that you are a human individual, you're also knowing that you're being attacked or bullied based on your race. Okay, then people may even indirectly blame you for trying to either say something and say you're taking things very serious, and this whole thing is like, oh, can't you take a joke? It is not a joke if it's mental abuse, and if you don't feel comfortable with it, make it clear that it is not a joke, okay? And they even question your memory, this type of individual, or your story, or your version of the story, or the way you took the issue, okay? So you find yourself at times even apologizing to the people because they have really inserted seeds of doubt that makes you question your own thoughts and your own feelings, that you think that you're the one who have the problem when initially you are not, okay? So they often use cover stories. Someone can even use this thing that they say, oh, especially if they're racially bullying you, they may take this route by saying that, oh, I have another black friend, oh my gosh, you look like Beyonce, oh my gosh, I love Beyonce so much, oh my gosh, I know I have black friends, like really, oh my gosh, I have a friend from Nigeria, oh my gosh, your hair looks nice. This often happens when you challenge them on the issue at hand. Rather than them facing it head on, they become uncomfortable because they realized that you know what they are doing. Then they try to use cover stories to divert or deviate from what is being said. You need to be careful and stick to your points, okay? They may even shut you down. The ones that are really good at their job, they definitely can shut you down and leave you dumbfounded. They can even make up some unfounded racial stories against you, okay? That then makes you look like you are the one with the problem and convince others that you are telling a lie. As I mentioned, some of them can bring facts, quote unquote, even company policies and things to support their viewpoints. On my blog, actually, I have written something about how to challenge opposing spirits, and these kind of things are part of the opposing spirits, okay? You need to be able to lay down what you want to say, have your facts right, know what exactly, be clear what you want to say and say it. Regardless of what they say, know that you've done the right thing, okay? Racial gaslighting then is a process that lies within a racial realm, okay? Studies both in law and politics have shown that many black people, regardless of what level of success they have, experience this if they work in places, like if they work for other people and in workplaces where they are the minority, okay? They say that the narrative is often obfuscated, obfuscated, okay? And this is done to promote a particular superiority, and that could be white superiority, Asian superiority, or even black superiority. So people that do this, they are trying to promote something, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, if this video is out of focus, trust me, I'm so sorry, because I've tried several times to keep it in focus, but I'm not sure if you guys are actually seeing things properly. But hopefully it's okay. Okay, so another example is when you are undermined on how you feel. Actually, I think I've mentioned this already. The goal of the people, you need to realize, is to deceive and obscure to gain power over you. These type of people are often very smart and difficult to spot at first glance. They will make it seem like they are helping you, but in reality they are simply ensuring that you or your work is not seen in good light, and they often point to your weakness, maybe promoting their racial superiority, okay? This person from health.com, Sakis, says that gaslighters, which is the bullies of this type, they don't really want you to succeed at all and will sabotage your efforts. They might change due dates, deadlines in the middle of a project, leaving you pulling all-nighters to get it done. They might undermine your efforts with comments about how you don't know what you're doing, making you doubt your own expertise. Now, at this point, I'm going to tell you 3 different stories.